Yeah, simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up. Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You wanna swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all times. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena and K-Sap too for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I wanna ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic. Check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through, pull up, the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Pay promotion. Yeah, simple ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up, chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up? What we talking about? What's up, K-Sap? James Ford, that's me.
Yeah, y'all come on in here.
Let me talk to him. Let's get it.
As y'all come in, man, smash the like button. Y'all make sure to hit the like button when y'all come in the room, man. Hit the like button, man. I'm gonna let the live catch up to some folks, man, before we get it off and cracking. Make sure y'all get these comments popping. Let's go. What's up, Charles? This is for you, Charles Stevens. This is for you, man. I saw your comment. You asked me why I didn't talk about the Chicago Skies getting railroaded last night by the Phoenix Mercury. I did say something in my video. I was watching the game as I was doing the video, letting you guys know that they was getting their hat handed to them. So I did say something about it. What up, fellas? What up, fellas, man? Y'all come on in the room, man. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it because I posed this question one time when I was doing a live, and I asked people, I said, when I made the comment about Angel Reese being more impactful to the Chicago Sky than Caitlyn Clark being more impactful to the Indiana Fever, everybody was in an uproar saying that Caitlyn Clark was more impactful. I disagree with that. The Chicago Skies, they need Angel Reese. They need Angel Reese. But from what I saw tonight and from the games that I've saw of the Indiana Fever have a way more superior team than the Chicago Sky. A way more superior team than the Chicago Sky. I mean, the way that the Indiana Fever came out swinging tonight against the Phoenix Mercury goes to show that they have some basketball talent on their team. And Caitlyn Clark is not, the only person that has game. You saw what Kelsey Mitchell did tonight. You saw what Aaliyah Boston did tonight. Man, they overall tonight, that team played like a team tonight. They played like a team. And, for everything that went on, like their starters, outside of Caitlin Lou Samuelson, she only had 3 points, but Alyssa Smith, she had 13 points, 9 rebounds, right? Then you had Aaliyah Boston. She had 14 points, 4 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, like we keep saying about Kelsey Mitchell, she's an important piece to the Indiana Fever. She had 28 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Caitlyn Clark showed out. And like I told people, this is the way Caitlyn Clark needs to play going forward. She had 29 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. She still had 5 turnovers, but she balled out tonight. And that's the Indiana Fever team that we need to see going forward for them to make a real strong playoff push and to become a team that don't nobody want to see in the playoffs. And outside of Lexi Hall and Erica Wheeler and Dantas, it was only 3 people that came off the bench tonight, but they balled out. They balled out. Exactly. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark, and I've always said this, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong. How many times have I said this? You got to have stellar guard play in the WNBA if you want to compete. Now, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark balled out. Clark had 29. Kelsey Mitchell had 28. So they have their backcourt right now, from what I saw tonight, if they keep playing like that, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous. Man, well, I mean, Caitlyn Clark, see, I think you misconstruing what I'm saying. If the Chicago Sky do not have Angel Reese, they don't win as many games as they have been winning. But you can set Caitlyn Clark down, and Indiana Fever is still a strong team. If Kelsey Mitchell keeps balling the way she's balling, she gonna make some money. You know, she's in her contract year. She gonna make some money. So that's what I'm saying. And exactly, Cardosa, like I said about Cardosa, everybody said that, you know, she should have been the number 1 pick over Angel Reese. I beg to differ, man. And I'm going to give Cardosa the benefit of the doubt right now. I'm going to say that Cardosa right now, she hasn't recovered from that injury, because Brittany Griner, from what Brittany Griner did to her tonight, is crazy. Hey, Hootie Mac, I understand that, you know, it's being set up. But I think if you take away Caitlyn Clark in a situation like tonight, only based off tonight, and the way Kelsey Mitchell was balling, Kelsey Mitchell could have set her teammates up as well. And see, what we miss in this, we all get focused in on Caitlyn Clark because she's the hot commodity, and we don't look at nobody else. But as a whole, that Indiana Fever team, man, that Indiana Fever team is balling. Man, they came out swinging. I mean, they came out the gate swinging. So you saw last night when the Chicago Sky played against the Phoenix Mercury, they had no answer because they didn't have no guard play. Outside of Mabry, because she was traded, the new pieces that they brought in, they didn't bode well. And now you got Angel Reese still having to do the dirty work, still putting up the same numbers, but it didn't benefit to winning. So that's why I said on this Chicago Sky team, they need Angel Reese at all costs. I just think in situations, if the Indiana Fever team is playing the way they played tonight, Caitlyn Clark can set down 2 or 3 games, and I think the Indiana Fever would win. That's all I'm saying. That's no knock on Caitlyn Clark. I just think that the Indiana Fever team is a better team. Kirsten, I totally agree. Their player developmental, personnel is awful. There's pieces out here that these teams have let go in the WNBA that can help out the Chicago Sky, and they just not helping. Yeah, Prodigal, they swept the Mercury. It's that get back for Caitlyn Clark and that Diana Taurasi thing. That's just a little inside joke, comical, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Charles Stevens, Charles Stevens, you're missing my point. I said that early in the stream. I said you saw what happened when the 2 guards from Indiana played well tonight. I said you always got to have elite guard play. Then I referenced back to how Chicago Sky played last night without Kennedy Carter. Outside of Mabry, they already traded. They brought in the new pieces. They didn't bode well, so they didn't have no guard play last night. And that's why I said Angel Reese still did the things that she's done all season long, consistency, 11 and 15, but they didn't get it done because outside of Angel Reese, nobody performed. Nobody performed. Zane Huckabee, it's okay, but I've said this in streams before. I've said this. Indiana Fever's team, you got to understand, they still got the number 1 pick from last year in Aaliyah Boston. They still got that veteran in Kelsey Mitchell, which everybody was hard on early in the season, saying that her and Caitlyn Clark did not fit with one another. Yeah, Kalia Copper, man, she's showing out. After the Olympics, Kalia Copper, man, she's doing her thing. And see, now the crazy thing about it is Kalia Copper used to play for the Chicago Sky. See, that's what I'm saying. Like last night's game, their whole focus was on Angel Reese, but nobody outside of Angel Reese provided anything. Nobody else provided anything. Michael Heiss, I did not. What are you talking about? How am I crazy? We know Caitlyn Clark scored them points tonight, but also Kelsey Mitchell pitched in as well. And Caitlyn Clark did not have 30. She had 29 and 10. But what I said is Kelsey Mitchell, she had 28. Stellar guard play. Pay attention. So you coming in here with your delusional stuff. Pay attention to what I'm saying. I said that the Indiana Fever's team as a whole is better than the Chicago Skies, hands down. You saw that tonight. This was a small sample size of what you can get from the Indiana Fever. Stop focusing on Caitlyn Clark. Let's talk about these other young ladies that are performing as well. So stop that. Thank you, Hootie Mac. That's all I'm trying to say. And he comes in, with his, I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone, but it is what it is. Appreciate your comment, Michael Heiss. Appreciate it. But at the same time, pay attention. Stop speaking with emotions. Pay attention. Exactly, Prodigal. See, that's what I'm saying, Prodigal. When you're talking about basketball, if you look at last night's game, they double and triple team Angel Reese, knowing that the Chicago Skies did not have no shooter to open up the floor. Exactly, Hootie Mac. She performed tonight, and this is what I'm saying for the people that don't know basketball. You can look across the board in the WNBA. You need stellar guard play to get it done. If you don't have stellar guard, Hootie Mac, how many times have we talked about it when you've been up on the panel about stellar guard play? And your response is the WNBA really don't have that many true point guards. They all consider shooting guards or something like that. And we've always said if you have somebody like that, any guards like that, you're going to bode well in the WNBA, man. Zane Huckabee, exactly. Reese, they're gonna try to shut Angel Reese down at all costs because one thing the Chicago Skies lack is outside shooting. I don't know, Nimbus, come low Nimbus. Nobody's complaining about Kate. We ain't say nothing about Caitlyn Clark's turnovers. Don't come in here with that. We giving Caitlyn Clark her praises tonight for the way she showed up and handled her business with 29, 10, and 5. And I said this. We giving Caitlyn Clark her praises. And this is what I've said on plenty of times that I've been live. I would love to see Caitlyn Clark continue to play like this because we know what she brings to the table. So stop coming in here sparing your own narrative about Caitlyn Clark. Don't do that. Thank you, Keywan Jackson. Nobody's hating on Kate. See, this is the thing that they do. When we giving Caitlyn Clark her praises, the Caitlyn Clark fans are not satisfied. They still think that we hating on her because we giving her flowers. If we say anything outside of Caitlyn Clark, like we attested to Kelsey Mitchell's performance tonight, then you want to come in the comments, no, Caitlyn Clark had 30. No, she did not have 30. She had 29 and 10, but Kelsey Mitchell was efficient too. That's what I'm saying. And you put that together, you got 57 points from your backcourt. You got 57 points from your backcourt. And that's that. And one thing I want to do right now, I want to kill that narrative about Christy Sides being a terrible coach. I don't want nobody, no Indiana Fever fans or Caitlyn Clark fans putting the blame on Christy Sides no more. Because what we saw tonight, we saw what the Indiana Fever are capable of doing. Okay, that's fair. Angel Reese doesn't know how to dribble. That's why many defenders are going at her. Nah, I don't think that's the reason why they're going at her. If you're a basketball player and you know the ins and outs of basketball and you have a high IQ, you know you're going to double that person down in the post because they don't have no outside shooters. And that's what's going on. Hootie Mack, we talked about that all the time, Hootie Mack. We talk about the guard play. And now it's coming back full circle on what we discussed about the guard play. Because you just put it in there. Skylar Diggins showed out tonight as well. Kejuan Jackson, I saw that. I saw the fact that when Phoenix was coming back, they got a technical foul. Caitlyn Clark made the technical foul, and then Aaliyah Boston got that backdoor cut for the layup. But at that time, Phoenix cut that 9-point lead to 5, right? And I was ready. I know these people. I was ready to say, oh, they're going to blame Christy Sides for, the loss if they come back. Kejuan Jackson. Some of these people evidently don't know basketball because they come in here not listening to the show, just getting behind the keyboard. Like I say, it's a lot of keyboard hoes. They just getting behind the keyboard, typing with emotions. Thank you, Kirsten. They do need, and we talked about it. We talk about it all the time on what the Chicago Skies need. They need somebody in that backcourt with Kennedy Carter, and I think Odyssey Sims would be the perfect match. See, Charles Stevens, you can say there's no need to double team her, but if that's the case, teams are last night. Why did the Phoenix Mercury double team her? Because the game plan on the scouting report, knowing that Kennedy Carter was out of the game, they had no outside shooting. They traded Mabry just before the Olympic break. So you're down, outside shooting. Kejuan Jackson, that's crazy because it's a lot of these guys in here with their comments that, yeah, you can look at them side-eyed. What you say, Hootie Mack? Sides better have the team. Let me put some of these comments up here. All of a sudden, man, let me look y'all in the face, man. Let me look y'all in the face. Because we got some things we need to talk about. Yeah, I'm here. So, if y'all want to come up on the panel, man, I will drop the link. Anybody that wants to come up, I'll drop the link. Let me know if y'all want me to drop the link in the chat. Tony G, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people say that Angel Reese has all these deficiencies, but why are teams triple and double teaming her? That's on the scouting report. Because if you don't double or triple team her, she gonna eat you up. She gonna eat you up if she misses her shot. Like y'all say, she gonna stat pat and get her own rebound. She might end up with 25 rebounds if they don't double team her. Indiana is setting things up slowly, but with consistency. Exactly, Daniel. Thank you for the comment. I've said that plenty of times. I've said that this Indiana Fever team is a strong team. And see, a lot of people don't look at it that way. They look at it as they only want to focus on Caitlyn Clark on that team. If things don't go well with Caitlyn Clark, they're mad at Christy Sides. But if they do get a victory and Caitlyn Clark don't perform well, they still mad at Christy Sides. They saying Christy Sides then iced her out from the game plan. I mean, if you know basketball, you're trying to get the win. And from what I saw tonight, I mean, Indiana Fever team is a respectful team, man. Yeah, T Black, the Sky general manager is trash. And, we did a show about what Gabby Williams said. She exposed, that front office and that head coach that she had when she, was suspended a year and then, she forced a trade. Not yet, brother. We don't have a good team. No, we don't. I'm all right with that. Chicago does not have a good team right now. And that's why I say, my personal opinion, that's why I said Angel Reese is more impactful to the Chicago Sky than Caitlyn Clark is to the Indiana Fever. Oh, yeah, she money in the bank. She money in the bank, man. Caitlyn Clark is great. We not taking nothing away from Caitlyn Clark. She's exceptional. She's a generational talent that's coming into the WNBA. But we got to stop shitting on Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell is money in the bank. And if you notice, I'm going to say this. If you notice tonight when Phoenix was making a push, who still was hitting big shots after big shots? It's a team victory. Yeah, it is a team victory. But Charles, I want to say, I want to, piggyback off of that. The team victory. We know it's a team victory, but what happens is everybody wants to focus on what Caitlyn Clark is doing. This team is a good basketball team. You know what, BD Smith? That's what, all these, man, we keep overlooking Kelsey Mitchell. That's the problem. We keep overlooking Kelsey Mitchell on what she brings to the table. I noticed that too. The post players like Izzy, Cordosa, and Reese do not pass back out post when they touch the rock in the block no matter what. Lack of shooters. I mean, these lack of shooters. Like, if Kennedy Carter's out on the floor, then you got some floor spacing. But they need somebody else that's going to knock down shooting. You need somebody else that's going to knock down shooting. Don't get me started on these refs calling all those touch fouls for Caitlyn Clark and not calling. Well, I mean, we already know Caitlyn Clark's MO. She does that a lot. She gets that arm bar. She gets that push off. But that's a signature move from her. She's been doing it since college, and they really never caught it. So what it's doing is in the WNBA, they're not calling it as well. But as soon as they touch her, they make a call. I totally agree with that. Mabry took off because she knew. I mean, that goes to the ownership, man. The ownership is putting Angel Reese in a bad situation, man. You got to build around Angel Reese. I don't know what it is about certain teams that release these players and they good pickups for other teams. And Chicago has to address their guard situation. Outside of Kennedy Carter and Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky's team is flawed. It's flawed. It is flawed. And that's just the bottom line, man. It's flawed. And we look at the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever's team is constructed well. They have pieces that fit. But what pissed me off early in the season was the blame game. Everybody wanted to blame Christy Sides for the falters that she can't coach. She can't do this. She can't do that. Fire her immediately. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Because if you look at last night's game, they lost by 20 against the Phoenix Mercury, right? Outside of Angel Reese doing her dirty work in 33 minutes, 11 points, 15 rebounds. You got Michaela that was inserted in the starting lineup. She gave you 5 points. The new guard that came over, Rachel Bynum, she gave you 7. And then Lindsay Allen, she gave you 5. Dana Evans came off the bench and gave you 14. And that's what I'm saying. You don't have the guards that the Indiana Fever have. That's the issue. That's going to be the main thing going down the stretch, is if Chicago can stay in this playoff hunt, is their guard play. BD Smith, you might be correct, because Cardoso's not giving the Sky what I thought she would be capable of giving with her size and structure down there. You 6'7". You 6'7". You 6'7". You 6'7", and you're not giving Chicago what they drafted you for. And I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, because I think she still has the ill effects from the shoulder surgery. BD Smith, get out of here with that. And they need to build around Kennedy Carter. Stop that, man. Stop. You're not going to build around Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter is not your franchise player. Your franchise player is Angel Reese. That's who they need to build around. So stop that, man. Stop pushing that narrative, BD Smith, that they need to build around Kennedy Carter. Ain't nobody building around no Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter is who she is. But Angel Reese is your franchise player. So why would you build around Kennedy Carter? Come on now. Stop that. That's just like me saying we're going to build around Rob Gronkowski instead of, Tom Brady. Come on, man. Apples to oranges, man. Well, Copper, we're going to talk about that, Hootie Mac. Copper, she did go to the foul line a lot tonight, but we seen that coming off Olympic play. Copper has developed a aggressive game. You saw what she did in the fourth quarter in the gold medal game against France. She was aggressive. And she's putting the onus on the ref because she's not settling. She's going to the cup. And if you put the onus on the ref early in the game, you're going to get them calls. So y'all stop that, man. Stop that. Free throws is part of the game, man. Don't nobody say nothing about Joel Embiid going to the line as many times as he does. So we got to stop that. Kalia Copper put the onus on the ref to make them calls because she was being aggressive. When you don't settle for jumpers, then you're going to get to the foul line. Kewan Jackson. Yeah, Carter is a great player, but you're not going to build your team around Kennedy Carter. You're not building a team around Kennedy Carter. You build that team around Angel Reese is your franchise player. So you draft somebody like Angel Reese. She's a franchise player. You build around her. Hey, Tony G, Chicago, man, they needed to address a lot of issues from what I saw last night. And we saw, outside of Angel Reese, nobody else wanted to come to the party. Nobody else wanted to dance with the prom queen. Well, her rotations are trash. Every big lead that have disappeared because she's put. Come on, man, Zane, man. We not gonna do that, man. We got to start giving Christy Sides her props, man. We can't blame it on the coach. The coach is not out there shooting the ball. The coach ain't out there turning the ball over. The coach ain't out there playing defense. She's implementing a game plan. Her rotations are her rotations, man. But see, this is what happens. Early in the season, people was complaining about Caitlyn Clark playing too many minutes. And then as soon as, Christy Sides take her out of the game, then the Caitlyn Clark and Indiana Fever fans are still blaming Christy Sides. Why you take Caitlyn Clark out the game? A lot of people saying that, Christy Sides early in the season playing Caitlyn Clark them heavy minutes was running her in the ground. I don't get how they gave Reese player of the game when they lost by 20 in Copper. Yeah, that's a fact. I just because that goes to show that the impact that Angel Reese has for the Chicago Sky. Now, basically, they're saying if Angel Reese didn't put up them 11 and 15 and played the way she played, they probably would have got beat by 50. They probably would have got beat by 50. Probably would have got beat by 50. And that's what I said. I thought that, Angel Reese and Cardoso, that would be a dynamic duo. But I just think from what I saw tonight, this is only from what I saw tonight. This is from a sample size of what I saw tonight. Indiana Fever are the far superior team than the than the Chicago Sky. And I will say this about the Chicago Sky, man. They flawed. And it starts from the ownership. It starts from the top. I don't agree with some of the decisions that they make. And you gotta get Angel Reese some help, man. She needs help, man. She needs help. Keywan, I don't think small ball gonna help. I don't think small ball gonna help, man, because you gotta have some kind of outside shooters, man. You gotta have somebody to spread the court, man. You gotta have somebody to spread the court, man. Somebody said Cardoso's lost on the court. Y'all think she's lost out there, man? I'm not gonna panic about the Chicago Sky because nobody thought Chicago was gonna do the things that they've done this year. Because, like I said, they had them finish in 12th. It still could be a possibility that they do finish 12th. From what I saw last night, if that game exemplifies anything going forward, Chicago Skies might win 3 or 4 games in the second half. If this goes to show what they're capable of doing, from what I saw last night, Chicago Sky is in trouble. But if this is any indication of what the Indiana Fever can bring to the table from what they did tonight, they're going to be a scary team in the playoffs, and you don't want to see them in the first round because you possibly can go home. Yeah, I agree with that. Kennedy Carter is the help that Angel Reese needs, but they need more people like that. And the front office has not addressed the issues. When you take Caitlyn Clark and Mitchell off the floor at the same time, that's not good coaching. Coaching and rotations have a huge impact on games. Both 28 and 31-point leads the exact same way. So, Zane, let's get off into the comment. You acknowledge what Kelsey Mitchell brings to the table. Because you said if you take Caitlyn Clark and Mitchell off the floor at the same time, that's coaching, and that leads to teams coming back. So that just goes to show you that Mitchell is very impactful for this Indiana Fever team. So we just can't keep focusing on what Caitlyn Clark brings to the table. Without Kelsey Mitchell, and I will go on record and I will say this is my personal opinion. If Kelsey Mitchell was not on the Indiana Fever, I don't think the Indiana Fever win as many games that they did in the first half. That's just my own personal opinion. That's my own personal opinion. No, Zane, I'm agreeing with you, Zane. I'm agreeing with you. I didn't say that you're focusing on Caitlyn Clark. I'm basically saying from your last comment, you gave Kelsey Mitchell her praises because you're saying that if you take Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell off the table, out the game, the Indiana Fever lose leads. I'm agreeing with you. I didn't say that you're just focusing on Caitlyn Clark. You're focusing on the team as a whole. You're just not a Caitlyn Clark glazer. You're talking from a team perspective. To be honest, Cardoso came from a good team that made her look better than she really is, not taking anything from her. Man, he knows. I mean, that's your opinion. And I mean, you can't refute that right now. Because when she played at South Carolina, I didn't think she was as good as she was to be drafted, number one by the Chicago Sky. Now, I said this before. I think Cardoso still would have been there at number 7 if the Chicago Skies would have picked Angel Reese, the number 1 pick for the Chicago Sky. Kelsey Mitchell, you can tell she's Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell, she balling. And plus Kelsey Mitchell, she's on a contract year. So she's out there stating her worth. But it behooves me because of the things I've said about, Kelsey Mitchell on her big time, when the lights come on, she knows how to perform. I contribute at least 4 of the Indiana Fever's wins before the Olympic break, all on Kelsey Mitchell because of what she did down the stretch, the big time shots that she's made down the stretch. Yep. Yeah. But other than that, man, I just think that Chicago is flawed right now with their roster from what I saw last night and from what I saw in Indiana. Indiana has a better constructed roster, man. They have a better constructed roster. And I think, like I've said plenty of times, I think they're starting to figure it out. And I said that when they went on that 4-game win streak. I said Christy Size and the Indiana Fever are starting to figure it out. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link for anybody that want to come up. I'm gonna drop the link. We got to get these super chats up, man. We got to get these super chats up. I got too many comments to be addressing everybody's comments. If you got something important to say, man, go ahead and drop a super chat, man. Support the channel, man. Y'all here every time I go live, man. Y'all at least can support the channel. It could be $1, it could be 50 cents. Man, support the channel. Man, I don't even think I want to let BD up, man. BD on some different stuff tonight. What you got, BD?
No, I'm not on. I'm not on no different stuff, but I have to disagree with you on something though.
What's that?
As much as I like Angel Reese as a player, and I do like Angel Reese as a player, She's not. She's not the franchise. You can't be the franchise player on the team and you're not the best player on the team.
What you mean she's not the
She's not the
franchise
best.
player?
She's not the best player on the team. Trinity Carter's the best player on the team.
Kennedy Carter is not the franchise player.
She's the best player on the team.
It's a difference between a franchise player and the best player on the team, right?
Okay, well, how are you going to build around a person who has no offensive skill set?
See, there you go. You're coming up here bashing Angel Reese. What you
I'm
mean she
not
don't
bashing.
What you mean she don't
have? Angel Reese does not have a jump shot. She can't space the floor. She has a high motor, and she's the best rebounder in the league. By far, there's no better rebounder in the league than Angel Reese.
You're missing the point. The Chicago Skies went out of their way to draft Angel Reese. Angel Reese is their franchise player. How long has Kennedy Carter been in the league, man? And how long?
I think 4 years.
And she's been bounced out of the league, man. How a person like that is going to be a franchise player? You can say she is the best. Hold up. Let me finish. You can say that she's the best player. We all can come to that agreement. But the best player and the franchise player is different. And the reason why I say this, we're gonna go to the Los Angeles Lakers, where they say, all the media pundits say that AD right now is the best player for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? But what's the notion? They building around LeBron James, right? They catering to what LeBron James needs, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. Angel Reese is Chicago's franchise player. They're going to invest a lot in Angel Reese. They're not going to invest all that in Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter is their best. Hold up. Let me finish. Kennedy Carter is their best player. We can agree with that, right? But what I'm saying is Angel Reese is their franchise player. They need to build around Angel Reese, and Kennedy Carter is one of the pieces that goes well with Angel Reese. The Chicago Skies organization needs to do more of that to complement what Angel Reese lacks, but Angel Reese is the franchise player.
Okay, I know you know your basketball, so I'm going to put it to you like this. The Detroit Pistons didn't build around Dennis Rodman. Even though Dennis Rodman was the best rebounder.
Dennis Rodman was not their franchise player.
I know that. What I'm saying is they didn't build around Dennis Rodman, even though he was by far the best rebounder in the league. They built around Isaiah Thomas. Why did they build around Isaiah Thomas? Because Isaiah Thomas could score the basketball. The same reason why the Lakers. Wait, hold on. Let me finish. The same reason why they build around LeBron James, because LeBron James can score the basketball. Angel Reese still 30 games in, has not proven that she can score the basketball consistently. She has proven she can rebound the basketball consistently, but she has not proven that she can score the basketball consistently.
Hold that thought. Appreciate the $2 super chat, Zane Huckabee. Now, Zane Huckabee said Mabry's out there looking good for the Suns right now. Totally agree with that. Now, back to your point, BD. With all that being said about Dennis Rodman, was Dennis Rodman their franchise player?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so why would you even make that statement? See, this is what you did. Listen, you're talking about scoring. Just because somebody's scoring don't mean that they're the franchise player. Angel Reese, hands down, is the Chicago Skies franchise player. Outside of what your soliloquy said about Kennedy Carter doing all this scoring, you still haven't addressed Angel Reese as being the franchise player.
Okay, if Angel Reese is the franchise player, then the Sky management suck because they need to break her and Cardoso up. They don't mesh well together.
Hold up.
Two people in the paint is a crowd.
See, everything that you're saying is going to what I'm saying. You build around your franchise player. If Cardoso is not matching the intensity that Angel Reese brings to the table, you split them up. You build around her. Kennedy Carter is the scoring machine, right? She's the best player, like people were saying, right? But Angel Reese is the franchise player. Let's get the difference in that. The difference between a franchise player and a player that is your best player. They're not going to build around no Kennedy Carter. They are built. What the Chicago Skies has did, they invested their money in Angel Reese, and that's what they gotta build around her. You gotta compliment her. So what Kennedy Carter's doing for the Chicago Sky when she's in the game, when Angel Reese is in the game, they bode well off of each other. They fit. They need some more pieces to fit to Angel Reese for the lack of what y'all say she don't bring to the table. And if that's the case, because Kennedy Carter, she can hit the mid-range game, she can get to the cup, she can shoot the three ball. You saw last night, without Kennedy Carter in the game and the lack of guard play that they have, all they did, the game plan was, if Angel Reese gets the ball, we're going to run a double and triple team at her because we know when they ain't got no shooters on the floor. So the Chicago Skies organization should look at it and be like, look, from last night, from what we saw, what the Phoenix Mercury did to the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, we needed to address some issues. And there's other players out there that have been released from these teams that Chicago Sky can benefit from.
Will you at least admit the fact that BG dug a hole in both of them last night, though?
Did you look? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, BD. Did you look at the video I did last night when I was talking about the Angel Reese and the Kennedy Carter? When I said toward the end of the video, when I was watching the game, I said BD is out there busting Cardoso and Angel Reese up. I said they are getting their hat handed to them. They are down 20. See, this is what I find hard. People just come in the comment sections and say anything without watching the full video and getting the full context of a video. They only want to say what they want to say, and then when I do these live shows, everybody wants to say, well, why come you didn't address that? If you listen to the full video, you would have understood and you would have heard what I was talking about last night.
I'm sorry, sir. I was at work last night, I didn't get to catch the video. I apologize.
I understand that, and that's why I say this is nothing against you. That's why I said in the chat there's a lot of keyboard hoes, because you're coming in here just typing without knowing the facts and listening to what I'm saying. I've addressed that. I said that I was watching the game live as I was doing the podcast last night, saying that, oh man, Chicago is getting railroaded. All you gotta do is pull up yesterday's video and go to the 8-minute mark where I'm saying, oh, they getting out there railroad. I said BD is out there doing what she wanted to do with Cardoso and Angel Reese. I acknowledge that. But I don't even want to get off subject. My thing is, Angel Reese is the franchise player. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. She's the franchise player, and that's who the Chicago Skies need to build around.
What do you propose they do? Who do you get to compliment her?
You need stellar guard play. You need another guard, because what we saw last night, if Kennedy Carter's not in the game and with the guards that they got, they're not ready. There's an Odyssey Sims out there that can handle the ball, can shoot the three. She can space the floor. And if you, I don't know if you watched the Indiana Fever game tonight, but the way Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell was feeding off of each other, it was something that you had to see. Caitlyn Clark, 29 points. Kelsey Mitchell, 28 points. That's stellar guard play. And BD, I've said this on plenty of shows, that if you don't have stellar guard play, you're not going to be successful in the WNBA. You're not. And we got to take.
Well, the W is more of a big girl league. Anyway, it's been a big girl league for a long time now. I think it's just now starting to transition like the NBA did maybe 10, 15 years ago, where the guards are more prevalent than the bigs.
But you got to look at it like this.
What could the Sky do to compliment Angel Reese? But I know one thing: they have to get rid of Cardoso. 2 in the paint is a crowd. But
listen, but BD, see, you're missing my point. I agree with that. They're not playing the way that Chicago Skies thought they was going to play. And like I said, I'm giving Cardoso the benefit of the doubt right now because I think she still is affected by the shoulder surgery. And if you look at it, if you have stellar guard play, when I'm going to go back to what you said about the guard, it's a big ladies league. But you got to look at it. What was they doing to all these guards in the WNBA in the past 4 or 5 years? They was releasing them, right? So that goes to your notion that it's a big girls league, but we still got to take in consideration the Indiana Fever's team is more superior than what Chicago has because you still have the number 1 pick from last year in Aaliyah Boston. Now, Aaliyah Boston is benefiting from what Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlyn Clark are doing just from the small sample size I saw tonight. So that gave Aaliyah Boston space to operate in the paint. And she performed well because what was it early in the year? Okay, he dropped off. So what was it early in the year when everybody was saying, well, you know, not Angel Reese, but Aaliyah Boston is not playing the way she's supposed to be playing. Somebody said Cardoso can't even set a proper screen. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, man. The link is in the chat. So anybody else that wants to come back up, man, I'm supposed to I think he got disconnected. So I don't want y'all to say I kicked him out the chat. He just got disconnected, man. I think he was out working because I heard the background noise. Yeah, so but the link's there. Anybody want to pull up? Yeah, but that's just my personal opinion, man. Yeah, they got the number 1 pick 2 years in a row, but Kelsey Mitchell was hurt last year. So we got to take that in consideration. Kelsey Mitchell was hurt, and she missed a lot of games. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all talking about, they got, all these players, and that's what I'm saying. The Indiana Fever's team right now is just better than the Chicago Sky. So stop that. They just better. They just better. But I would like the Chicago Sky organization just to do Angel Reese some justice, man. Build around her. Outside of Kennedy Carter, they got to shake it up. And like I said, I'm surprised they won as many games as they had. And I've said this many times. I'm surprised Angel Reese is doing the things that she's doing in the WNBA. Pushing P, yeah, they were supposed to be the worst team in the WNBA. They were supposed to be the worst. They proved a lot of people wrong. Yep. Well, y'all crazy, man. They said the Sky losing because Angel taking too many shots. Where's my Caitlyn Clark jersey? Nah, man. I got my Angel Reese. I got my Angel Reese merchandise, man. Caitlyn Clark coming soon, man. Caitlyn Clark coming soon. Marquis Sean, we gonna get them. We gonna rock them Caitlyn Clark. I don't rock jerseys no more. I got a closet full of jerseys, but I'm not. I don't rock jerseys no more. We rocking t-shirts, man. I could have threw my Angel Reese t-shirt on for. I got about 7 Angel Reese t-shirts. I could have threw an Angel Reese t-shirt on for the video, but I didn't want to troll y'all. That's what I'm saying, Pushing P. The organization makes bad decisions. Sharice the Jesus, appreciate the $5 super chat. I enjoy your perspective. Thank you. I appreciate that. It really means a lot. I appreciate that. My man, be nice. My man, be nice, man. Appreciate the super chat. Be nice. I knew you was coming. Hey. Caitlyn Clark's cooking channel. Thanks for all your positive coverage of her. 2024 Rookie of the Year. We couldn't do it without you. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Be Nice. Be Nice is another one. He trolls at times, man, but I give mad respect to Be Nice, man. Be Nice know what it is, man. Be Nice been here, when I first started, man. So appreciate your support, Be Nice. Yeah, but I just don't want y'all guys to think that I'm just this anti-Caitlyn Clark person. Nah, I give Caitlyn Clark her praises, man. But I look at basketball for a whole. I just don't focus in on one player. I focus in on what these teams have, man. I just don't talk about Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. I've talked about other players. And you guys know that y'all been on these live shows that we talk about every player around the WNBA and what they bring to the table. Me personally, and this is just how I feel, I just don't think that the Chicago Sky's team is constructed as well as the Indiana Fever team. Y'all can say that the Indiana Fever was trash last year. That's why they got the number 1 pick. Rightfully so. But you still got to take in consideration that Kelsey Mitchell was hurt last year as well. She missed a lot of games. So, from my perspective it's like I said, for people that's just joining the live now, I said that if this is a small sample size of what we're going to see from the Indiana Fever going forward, they're going to be a scary team in the playoffs. Ain't nobody going to want to see them. But I want everybody put a 1 in the chat if y'all think what I'm saying about the Indiana Fever having a better team than the Chicago Sky is a fact. Put a number 1 in the chat. I want to see something. Put a number 1 in the chat. You said a 1.5. All right, Hootie Mac. Okay, Hootie Mac. Let's talk about that. Why would you say 1.5? So y'all don't think that the Indiana Fever have a better team than the Chicago Sky? Angel Eyes Fancy. Why would you put a 0 in there? There my man Hootie Mac, man. Hey, Hootie Mac, man. What's going on, man?
Good morning. Oh, good night. Yeah, good night. I'm losing track of time over here. Am I coming through all right?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, man. Go.
All right.
Hey, man, look, check this out, man. Hey, before we get started, man, hey, y'all go follow Hootie Mac on YouTube, man. I've subscribed to his channel, man, and he talks a little bit about everything. And I didn't know you actually do a little rapping, huh?
No, I was dibbling into learning beat creation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So what I got to take some time to do. I've been noticing a lot of people who are content creators, like making multiple channels and segmenting their content, right? And I got like a hodgepodge of stuff now, so I'm gonna take time and get my mind focused. I'm gonna separate all the stuff I do for beat production, make a separate channel just for that, and hopefully it'll be also another little sidebar of revenue too. And I do like the gaming. I do like basketball gaming, sports gaming, and also talk about
I peeped you out. I subscribe to you, man. But let me go and get to the super chat, man. Charles Stevens, man, appreciate the $2 super chat. Don't always agree, but it's still cool. We can agree to disagree, man, and that's what we're here for. All right, so what you got, Hootie Mac?
As the resident New Yorker, don't know about anybody else but as the resident New Yorker, this is sidebar, but I'm going to tie it together with why I halfway agree with that statement. Look at the way that the New York Liberty was moving that rock the night or so ago, right? When they came back, I told another content creator, I was like, yo, they was on fire. She was like, nah, that was the Breonna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu show. True, but they shot 54% from the floor as a team and 50% from three. So everybody who was putting up a shot was hitting. Even you had Courtney Vandersloot out there getting shots up, right? Because the ball was moving, people was getting involved. Cool. And we see what the Liberty look like as a team. Like they thinking that they might break the WNBA record.
That is correct.
Why did I say all of that? It's not nearly as good as it is that what the Liberty is doing, because you got a playmaker from the center position, you got a playmaker from the point guard position. You know, I mean, Vandersloot and Sabrina. You know, what I mean, you got like three or four playmakers for the Liberty, right?
Yeah.
So everybody gets involved. That ball is moving. Mainly, your playmaker is CC on this team. Like, if CC not distributing, I don't know who you say is your next playmaker. You got Mitchell, who can be a playmaker, but the level and difference of how it's done is quite glaring to me. Whereas passes that Caitlyn will attempt, which I think the risk reward with her you got to live with. Mitchell is like a system quarterback, right?
Okay.
Like, I could take Brad Johnson and I could win. I could take Trent Dilfer and I could win. They're not gonna try nothing.
Okay.
But I could win. Which you get the where I'm going with that.
Okay. Now look, let me stop you right there. Let me stop. Everything that you said, you know, that's your opinion. And we can agree to disagree. And the reason why I say if Caitlyn Clark sets down, and you talking about the ball distribution, right? The playmaking skills, right?
That
movement. That's going to force, if Caitlyn Clark is not in the game, that's going to force Kelsey Mitchell to do more, right? That's going to force her to get her team involved. If anybody that plays basketball and you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and you know that you're performing well because you're swinging the ball, everybody's getting a touch, and they always say when that rock is moving and it's hot and everybody gets a touch, that ball going to go down in that basket, right? And the reason why I say that, I heard somebody say, I think this was on Player's Choice. I heard somebody say that the Olympic team, the United States men's Olympic team, still would have won the gold if LeBron, KD, and Steph was not there. And the reason why I say this is because they made the opinion of the other guys, if they wasn't there, the other guys would have to step up and do more, right? And that's why what I'm saying about, and I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know about that, because they was talking about if Halliburton would have played, he'd have been forced to do more, because you saw what Halliburton is capable of doing with the Indiana Pacer, moving the ball, getting the assists, right? And the reason why I brought that up, I'm trying to tie it together, because if you look at it in that sense, from what they said, that goes with the Indiana Fever. You said that Caitlyn Clark is a ball distributor, right? She's a playmaker. She's an excellent playmaker, right?
She takes chances too with some of them passes.
Exactly. Because I'm not even gonna say this because I don't want nobody to say I'm hating. I don't want no comments in the section to say I'm hating. Still had 5 turnovers a night. Now watch people come in the chat.
And you know, I see that Vikings jersey back there, Brett Favre with it. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So takes chances, risk and reward. So the reason why I said what I said is because if Caitlyn Clark is out of the game, right? And when I said that the Indiana Fever team is better as a whole, because you look at what these players are doing tonight, like I said, it's just a sample size. And if they continue from tonight, if this is the Indiana Fever that we're going to see going forward, don't nobody want to see them in the playoffs. Don't nobody want to match up them in the first round, because you got outside of Samuelson in the starting 5, she was the only person not in double figures. Nalissa Smith. Now, you know what we say about Smith. She's a bruiser. But come on, man. She was active tonight. 13 points, 9 rebounds, right? Aaliyah Boston, a plus 16. She had 14 points, and she had 9 rebounds. Then you look at what we say about Kelsey Mitchell. You've been on plenty of my live shows when we talk about Kelsey Mitchell, and a lot of people don't give Kelsey Mitchell the credit that she deserves, right?
Right, yep.
She had 28 points tonight, right? 5 rebounds. Now, with Caitlyn Clark in the game, to go to what you were saying about the playmaking, Kelsey Mitchell don't need to play make. right? She's the big shot maker. But what I'm saying is, if you take Caitlyn Clark off the floor, now you asking Kelsey Mitchell to be that playmaker. Because outside of, Caitlyn Clark, the other guard, and Erica Wheeler, what y'all been saying about Erica Wheeler? She don't deserve to be on the floor. She dribbles the air out the ball, right? So what I'm saying is,
Chris Paul without Chris Paul playmaking.
okay, there you go. So what I'm saying is, I just think with this Indiana Fever team, the way they're constructed with the guard heavy play, I just think if Caitlyn Clark was off the floor, Kelsey Mitchell would be asked to do more. She would ask to be the playmaker. I don't think Kelsey Mitchell is that selfish enough just to come down and shoot all the shots, because her role on the team right now, because Caitlyn is there, she's the shot maker, right? But I'm just saying, I just think, my personal opinion, if Caitlyn Clark was not on that floor, I just think Kelsey Mitchell would do more. I think her assists would go up because we see what the Indiana Fever are capable of doing. And that's what I was saying about the Chicago Sky. When I was talking about the franchise player, you're not going to build around Kennedy Carter just because she's your best player. You're going to build around the franchise player that you selected in the draft. You're going to build around Angel Reese. Now, a lot of people have give Cardoso a hard time saying, oh, she don't need to be playing. So that leaves your franchise player in Angel Reese. You got to bring in people that, like they say, hide the flaws of a person that's going to complement. Because we saw last night, I don't know if you watched the game, they didn't have no guard play, and all they did was double and tripled Angel Reese.
I wanted also to speak to that too, right? When you said guard play, and I won't try to overcomplicate it, but I did check out some of that, and like I said in my comment about them doubling and tripling the post, most likely because nobody is they're scared of hitting a perimeter shot. But it might not only be that aspect too, but like I said, when I saw that it was taking place, no matter who the post player, and it seems generally Cardoso is Isabel Harrison, Isabel looking for a shot when she get to a certain area, and Reese, when they get in that painted area, they're looking for a shot. And because maybe other coaches are noticing, hey, if they got the ball and they're near that basket, they're putting up a shot. Send help, send three. They either are gonna not pass it, still try to throw something up, or potentially turn it over because they're not. I wouldn't even say good post pass. I have to see more, but I haven't seen passing out of the post with any type of efficiency. So maybe that's the game plan for that particular coach. You know what I mean? Maybe that, plus you have Brittany Griner down. Like, come on now, like you got Brittany Griner down there too. You do got a paint presence. So that could have been the game plan for that coach. I don't know if that's what we're going to continue to see from other coaches going around, but it seems very effective, especially if nobody's hitting a shot on the perimeter.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got Kennedy Carter there, but when Kennedy Carter gets the ball, a lot of times, all right, what she does, she'll catch it on the perimeter and attack going downhill.
Exactly.
Right? But she's very efficient at
doing that.
Coming downhill.
Exactly.
So so it's still a threat.
And that's what, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm looking at, when I talk about what the Chicago Sky need, they need stellar guard play, right? Now, when I say this, you look at Odyssey Sims when she played for Dallas, okay? Who was the main person on the Dallas Wings? Who was everybody focusing on? And she still was getting her buckets.
They was focusing on Enrique
Umbawale, right? And what Odyssey Sims did, she averaged 17, but she averaged 7 assists. And that's what I'm trying to say. That would be somebody that would complement Kennedy Carter and Angel Reese. I just think it will be a well dynamic, because now what you just said about Kennedy Carter, what does Kennedy Carter do well? When she gets the ball, her attack downhill is exceptional.
Pressure on that rim.
Exactly.
Very effective at making it, whether off the dribble or at the rim. So she's very. There are a lot of people that keep comparing that Iverson look, the way to her game, that because Iverson was her favorite, so obviously she studied Iverson. You know what I mean? But if you're that efficient at doing it, and you're not saying CC is by no means did her Kennedy Carter impression, but tonight she attacked downhill, put so much pressure on the rim, got all them free throws just like Kalia Copper did. You know what I mean? You see how you can potentially set other people up, because Kennedy Carter does a little bit of playmaking here and there. When you gotta respect the person scoring on all three levels like Kennedy Carter can, but she's not per se a perimeter threat. But
Exactly.
she's still a bucket.
Exactly.
She's still a bucket. So
she's a different type of bucket because of the pressure she puts on the rim.
Yeah.
And if you go back early in the chat, somebody made that notion about Mabry. What Mabry is doing for the Sun, you know what I'm saying, in the first half. So do you think Chicago missed out on an opportunity, gave up on Mabry too quick? Because y'all know what I've been saying about Mabry. When Kennedy Carter wasn't balling, who was balling? It was Mabry. And when Kennedy Carter got the ball in, Mabry kind of fizzled off and she went into a slump. So, and I said, if them two guards can figure it out, then that's the guard combination that you need. But now you bringing in these two new guards that they brought in, man, they not giving you nothing.
Yeah.
They not giving you nothing. You saw
like that.
What Mariah Jefferson had 2 points last night, man. And then you had Raquel Bynum. She had 7. Dana Evans came off the bench and had 14. So, then they put Michaela, they put her in the starting lineup as the forward. 5 points, man.
Right now, Mabry over there, they're in the third quarter going into the fourth. Maybe right now sitting with 15, shooting 60% from the floor and 3 or 5 from the three.
That's what I'm saying. So I just think, like somebody said in the chat, that the Chicago Sky's organization from top to bottom right now, they don't know what they're doing. And that goes to show you the Gabby Williams situation. I know they got different, management now, but what old buddy did to her. You see what I'm saying? So we know what type of organization that Chicago Sky is running. They missing out on the opportunity, man. They missing out on opportunities to put pieces around Angel Reese for them to excel. But I'm going to go back to what I said. If this is a small sample size of the Indiana Fever, then man, boy. And a lot of people, like I said, people still not going to give Kelsey Mitchell her credit. Regardless.
I definitely will, because I see, I'll put it like this. Again, going back to my New York Liberty comment, and my Liberty, I disagree who made, but the Liberty is actually better than the Aces this year. I see what Asia's doing. I see all that. Cool. Yo, we got some hitters on that Liberty squad, but that's another story. That's another story for another day.
But hey, I think you picked that up on somebody's podcast talking about that the New York Liberty are going to win the championship this year.
I'm in New York, K-Sam.
I know, but if somebody said, I forgot what podcast that was on, they said that the Aces shouldn't have won last year because the Liberty are right there. Now, if the Liberty, what I saw last night, what Sabrina and Breanna Stewart did last night, and that's what I said last night when I started the show, I said that the Indiana Fever came out swinging. They did not hold no punches. And if this is what we're going to get from the Indiana Fever, man, and if Kate, and I said this on the last stream before we went into the Olympic break, I said from what Caitlyn Clark did against the Dallas Wings, even though they lost, and the way she performed down the stretch, if she can pick up off of where she left off at and continue to play that way, Indiana going to be scary.
Yeah. And like I said, I go back, go to the play style. What I noticed and what I see, it can be very effective. They pushing the pace. The ball is moving, everybody getting involved. That pick and roll is working. If any team can figure out how to slow down that pick and roll, do something to defend that pick and roll, they may have a better chance at stopping the Fever. I don't know any team has figured that out yet or has an idea what they would do with that as of yet. Because then you're relying on Aaliyah Boston to turn into next level Shaquille O'Neal off that pick and roll, right?
Yeah.
she's gonna have to be highly efficient out of it. Because what they was trying, remember earlier, they was trying trapping off it, right? But then she's dotting up Aaliyah Boston off that road. And so what are you doing on the back end? You got your big man tied up in the trap, right? Now Aaliyah Boston is getting a mismatch most of the time off of that road, you know what I mean? Or the pop. You know what I mean? She continuously hits that mid-range pull up, you know what I mean, or that mid-range spot up. It's basically ain't no stopping it. And then you got your shooters all around the court. Mitchell being such a dynamic offensive weapon too, if that ball happens to swing to her, now you got a third option, right? And then,
exactly,
yes, you're right. Mitchell it is tough. It's
exactly.
a tough out for any team, but it looks like a team, right? All the sum of all the parts. But the main driving engine, like I said when I was using all the football words, the main driving engine though is what CC is doing, because Mitchell don't get them clean looks like that without the gravity of CC. Boston don't get put in the pick and roll like that and get fed like that if not for CC.
Okay,
and let me get them easy dive rolls to the paint if not for CC.
Let me stop you right there. You go back to last year, Indiana Fever's team, right? We gotta take in consideration what Kelsey Mitchell was doing before she got injured, right?
Yeah,
she was playing the same way that she's playing this year alongside Caitlyn Clark. She was playing.
That's her game all around.
That's what I'm saying. So we can't just say that Caitlyn Clark is the driving force of why Kelsey Mitchell is playing the way she's playing. We saw what Kelsey Mitchell brings to the table. We saw what she did last year without Caitlyn Clark. She was balling until she got injured. And like I said,
I wouldn't say the driving force. When I'm saying what overall the team can accomplish. Yeah, you get similar production. The team is already, we know they're going to win more games than they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
True, all of that are given, right? But now the potential of what they can do as a collective. It seems like you had a collection of individuals. You had a lot of one-on-one basketball going on, and every now and then somebody get a cookie, so to speak, get an assist here and there, 4 assists, 5 assists. Nobody on that team was doing, and let's on the low end what her average is right now, but she's been getting like 10 assists a game consistently for the last couple of games. Nobody was giving you 7, let's say 6 or 7 assists on a consistent. We can look to somebody and say, yeah, we'll get about 6 or 7 assists from this person.
But that goes to show that Indiana, that goes to show that Indiana got a lot of shot makers. That goes to show they got a lot of shot makers. They take advantage of the opportunity when they do get the ball. So that goes back to what you said about, the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. They don't have no shot makers. Outside of Kennedy Carter, who's their shot maker? Who's their shot maker? They got rid of Mabry. Mabry, she spreaded the floor. She at least was hitting 3-pointers. So the girl that they brought in, Raquel Bynum and Mariah Jefferson, thought that they was going to be, I'm not going to, shit on them right now, but from what I saw of them last night, it just didn't bode well. I know it's just one game. They coming over from a new system. They got to get acclimated. They just picking up the second half of the season. But from what I saw last night, that ain't going to cut it. Now you got to prove me wrong now.
Yeah.
You got to prove me wrong. And that's just what it is, man. But let me go ahead and get your last take, man.
Okay. All right. So, well, I can see why you would say they would definitely be scary, and I would happen to agree, and it would just bode even better for CC's candidacy this year. Unfortunately, though, they're gonna run into some problems if they bump their head up against them aces. Against maybe the Mercury again, may figure some things out, because they still got some problems, and that Liberty team, you know what I mean? But hey, this is looking very good for a candidacy. This is looking very good for that candidacy for that ROI.
That rookie of the year. I know that was going to come up, but hey, me personally, it is what it is. I don't have no horse in the race. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to somebody that's performing. And the way Caitlyn Clark performed tonight, like I said, and I'm going to keep on saying this until people understand my position and where I'm coming from, this is no hate toward Caitlyn Clark. I like Caitlyn Clark. I give Caitlyn Clark her just dues, but I'm not just going to be glazing over her. I'm going to let y'all know the deficiencies Caitlyn Clark has as well. I'm not just going to come up here and give Caitlyn Clark all the praise. There's other basketball players on her team that complement what Caitlyn Clark is doing, and that goes back to what I said about a franchise player. Caitlyn Clark is their franchise player right now. You build around her, right? You make her happy. You give her the pieces that she needs to excel, and that's what she's doing. And like I said, it's only a small sample size of what I saw tonight. And that's something that the Chicago Sky is not doing with Angel Reese, because there's names out there that have been released from certain teams that would be great pickups for the Chicago Sky. And the reach that Angel Reese did for Gabby Williams, she know that. Now, see, that's an indication of Angel Reese knowing what she needs on this team to be, to be formidable. You know what I'm saying? She knows she needs another elite guard. She knows she needs another elite guard. And that goes to show when she reached out to Gabby Williams, when Gabby Williams had that exceptional Olympic run where she averaged 15 points a game, 19 in the gold medal game, knowing what she brings to the table, and you have your franchise player reaching out to a guard like that, and she's only 5'11", that goes to show you Angel Reese knows what the Chicago Sky need. So the Chicago Sky, they better start listening.
Absolutely. Hey, go New York, go New York, go.
All right, Hootie Mac, man. I appreciate the call, man. Have a great one. Yeah, that was Hootie Mac, man. And, like I said, I appreciate talking basketball, man. And, he got his stuff together when he's talking about basketball because, he knows the nuances, man. He knows the meats and potatoes. He knows the percentages and stuff like that. And he knows the analytics, man. So it is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody's support. It is what it is. We had a great show tonight, man. We kept it pushing tonight. We kept it pushing tonight. We had some very interesting comments. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Ray Dudley said Caitlyn Clark is hands down rookie of the year. Okay. Hands down rookie of the year based off of what? Based off of what she did tonight or as a whole? Now, if she keeps this up, oh, yeah, she'll be a clear-cut favorite for rookie of the year. And, I agree. I agree that, getting rid of Mabry, it freed up the salary. Chicago Sky got 2 first-round picks next year. I guess they're setting themselves up for the future, and that's why I said that Angel Reese is the franchise player. If you're setting yourself up for the future, Angel Reese is the franchise player because now you're building around her because it makes sense to what I was telling BD about, if they traded Mabry away just for salary cap purposes, now it makes sense. You're building for the future, building around Angel Reese because the Chicago Sky was not expected to do what they're doing right now in that 8th, slot in the playoff push. They was projected to finish 12th. Now the season ain't over and they still can finish 12. Right there, 17-8-6 teams on pace to win more than the last 2 years. Is that because of Ray Dudley? Is that because of Caitlyn Clark? The way you answer this, I'll know what your position is. Ray Dudley, man, you a Caitlyn Clark Glazer, I see. You can't even be objective. South Carolina Raven, Chicago. Yeah. But man, great show tonight, man. We ain't gonna be here all night, man. We on the D block now. We on the D block right now, man. But y'all keep supporting the channel, man. Like I said, man, y'all here long enough, man. Let's start getting these super chats up, man. I mean, y'all see what's in the comments. Everybody say, I see you reading my comment, but you're not posting it. Yeah, I mean, I can read all the comments. But, I mean, if you want to get your comments seen or heard, man, man, go ahead. You know, $1 ain't gonna hurt. It could be 99 cents. It could be $1. You know what I'm saying? If you're supporting the channel like this because you're here every night on every video posting your comments, man, come on, man. Support the channel. That helps us elevate, man. That helps us grow, man. Yeah. And then we all, you know, y'all can become members as well. But yeah, man, I like I said, man, I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate it, man. Be nice. We're going to be nice to you, man. This guy should take the rest of the season. Yeah, Paige Becker and Juju, when they come along, man, it'd be a different story. Yeah. But, man, hey, great game by the Indiana Fever tonight, man. Kudos to y'all's Caitlyn Clark. Kudos, man. Come on, man. Kudos to y'all's Caitlyn Clark, man. Yeah, Lolitha. Yeah, we gave Caitlyn Clark her praise, man. And I said it. You know, you see the title of the video, man. The Indiana Fever team is just more superior than the Chicago Sky. They did it to Chicago. You know, they just more superior, man. They more superior, man. But that's just what it is, man. Ray Dudley, man, I can't take you serious, man. I can't take you serious, Ray Douglas, man. Ray Dudley, man, I can't take you serious, man. Ray Dudley, man. Hit the link, Ray Dudley. Come on, pop up. Come up on the panel, man. I want to hear what you got to say, man. Hit the link. Hey, that link I just dropped is for Ray Dudley. Come on, Ray Dudley. Shout out to Be Nice for the, $2 super chat. Come on, Ray Dudley. K-Sap keeping it real. Yeah, Caitlyn Clark, man, she's that girl, man. She's that girl, man. So I just don't want, I don't know what this notion is that people think I don't like Caitlyn Clark. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I really don't, man. Ray Dudley, where you at, man? I'm gonna wait, man. I want Ray Dudley to pull up, man. See, Ray Dudley, I give you a chance to come up on the panel to speak what you want to speak, man. But it seems like you ducking, man. All I hear is crickets. Edward Millsap. Hey, that guy from Black and White Sports, man. All right, here we got Ray coming up, man. I want to talk to Ray. We got Ray, man.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Ray?
What's going on, man?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm just talking basketball. That's all,
Nah, you ain't talking basketball, man. You glazing over Caitlyn Clark, man. You can't think outside of Caitlyn Clark, man.
No. Because if you go back and look at the chat, I was giving Kennedy Carter all praise when I first walked in. I ain't say nothing about Caitlyn until somebody else said something.
Hold on just 1 second. Shout out to International 33 for the $3 super sticker. Hey, it's all love though. But it's talking basketball. That's why I always give people opportunity to come up on the panel and say what they got to say, man. But
I appreciate it because you ain't had to do that if you didn't want to.
But exactly. But what I'm saying is I just don't want people thinking. I think there's this notion going around on my channel when I drop videos that I don't like Caitlyn Clark. And that's far from the truth.
Understand.
That's far from the truth, man. But I'm just not going to sit up here and give her all the praise for the good things we're seeing. We can address the bad things just as well as everybody knows that I really wasn't an Angel Reese person in college coming into the WNBA, but she's
Right.
grown on me, right?
Right.
And I've become a fan of Angel Reese, right? I support Angel Reese. And this is what I'm saying about Caitlyn Clark. I drop a lot of videos talking about a lot of people, right? And when I talk about Angel Reese, I told people that, her unconventional style of play, which is sloppy, a lot of people can't gravitate to that. But I like her rebound and tenacity, right?
Yeah, she got the highest motor in the
she got a high motor, and I can appreciate that. So when I'm talking about Caitlyn Clark, if I'm giving Caitlyn Clark her flowers about what she brings to the table, how she makes her teammates around her get going, and then all of a sudden I'll be saying the only thing I want to see from Caitlyn Clark is bring them turnovers down. As soon as I mention that word turnovers, everybody, why you hating on Caitlyn?
I mean, that ain't hating though,
hating.
because turnovers is part of the game. It ain't hating, and she really do need to bring them down.
Exactly.
And that's just because she played with at a speed that's almost like the speed of the men's game. So
Exactly.
a lot of the women not used to that shit.
And I'm glad that you said that, because Woody Mack says it all the time. It's almost like the Brett Favre effect. Brett Favre was a gunslinger.
Brett came in throwing interceptions left
Exactly.
and right.
He was taking a chance.
He also was getting wins too. And
exactly.
The risk was higher than the reward. So I don't fault Caitlyn because, she might get you 5 turnovers, but I take 5 turnovers if you're going to give me 13 assists too.
Okay, say that one more time for the people in the back.
I will take 5 turnovers a game if I know you're going to give me 13, 14 assists.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of people bring up LeBron James is leading the NBA in all-time turnovers, but he's still a great player.
And he's also top 5 in assists. All time as well.
Exactly.
Just like Caitlyn got a lot of turnovers, but motherfuckers say, "Oh, was she the leading scorer in the NCAA?" Yes, and she's number 3 all-time in assists.
And that's the point that people are missing.
Her game ain't changing. It's taking her a little longer to adapt, because if you think about it, that Iowa team, she was there from the ground up for 4 years. So all them girls on that team knew each other in and out. She been on the Fever for 25 games. It's going to take some time.
Exactly. Hold on just one second. RS, appreciate the $5 super chat. And see, I'm glad that you said that, because when we talk about what Caitlyn Clark needs to do to really perfect her basketball game, bring the turnovers down. Now, once you bring the turnovers down, now I want to see you hitting that 3 ball at a high clip.
And she too passive sometimes.
And see, I think I did a video on that, and everybody blamed Christy Sides for her playing the way she's playing.
No, it ain't Christy. A player like Caitlyn, bro, having the green light her whole life.
Exactly.
That's her getting in her own way.
Exactly, and that's what I tell people. And when I tell people that, they always want to throw the blame at Christy Sides.
But see, that's because everybody don't know basketball. People just like to argue. I call them keyboard hoes, man. Yeah, I coached girls basketball down here in North Carolina. Last year, my team was projected to go 0-21. We made it as a 10 seed in the state playoffs and hosted our first state playoff game. And that was a team full of girls that were 9th and 10th graders.
See, that's what I'm saying. And I coach here in the Texas area, man. I coach for the Kings Academy. You know what I'm saying? So,
our best player was a 5'10" freshman who averaged 18 and 18 a game.
See, and that's what I'm saying. And see, a lot of people, and you know what's crazy to me? Ray? When we talk about basketball, right, and we talk about the ins and outs, and Woody Mack talks about this all the time, about, where people score from, the mid-range, the three-point line, right, and things like that. And he broke down tonight's game about the way Aaliyah Boston was cutting to the rim. And that went into the conversation when I opened it up. That's why the headlines was Indiana Fever's team is far more superior than the Chicago Sky, right? From what I saw tonight, like Hootie Mack said, Indiana moved that ball. That ball was popping, right? Because if the ball was not popping, like I said, outside of Samuelson, the only one in the starting lineup that wasn't in double figures. Nalissa Smith had 13. Aaliyah Boston had 14.
Mhm.
Kelsey Mitchell, as much as people shit on Kelsey Mitchell, she had 28. Caitlyn had 29. She had the 10 assists, right?
Mhm.
But Kelsey Mitchell, we've been saying this about Kelsey Mitchell every time we talk about the Indiana Fever. If you're asking who the closer is on this team,
Yeah, it's
it's
definitely
Kelsey Mitchell.
It's definitely Kelsey. She's our big shot Bob.
Exactly.
Less than 2 minutes, fourth quarter. If it's close, Kelsey she gonna find a way to get open. First of all,
Exactly.
if you pay attention. When the shot go up on the other end, Kelsey Mitchell is always the first one down court.
And
But
she
you know
gets to
why?
her spot.
You know why? Because she trusts that her point guard can get the ball to her.
Exactly.
That's
And
what Chicago was missing. They don't have a reliable facilitator.
see, okay, so when I was saying this earlier, a lot of people was, doubting my logic.
No, Chicago, they don't have Dana Evans not a facilitator.
That's what I'm talking about, Ray.
Their
When we talking,
facilitator was Mabry, and now
It-
she's in Connecticut, probably about to go to the finals.
and Ray, this is what I'm talking about. When I say it, I got to be delusional. But when somebody else utters the words that I say, then it becomes, this guy know what he's talking about.
Man, but everybody, everybody on the internet got to have a different opinion. If they don't agree with the way you think, they're gonna try to make you think the way that they think.
I mean, we can agree to disagree, and that's what I said. I've always said in the WNBA, if you look at it now, you got to have stellar guard play.
You got to.
Angel Reese can only do what she does. She is a high motor player. Mm-hmm. She is a relentless rebounder.
Best rebounder in the league.
She's gonna get you second chance points. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have no guards to open up the floor, because you saw what we saw last night, I'm gonna ask you an honest question. Mm-hmm. Guarding Angel Reese, why did the Phoenix Mercury's game plan was to double and triple team her?
Honestly, it's because if you watch the way that she plays, and I'm sure they've watched plenty of film and they know how she plays, they played against her already. Once Angel get the ball inside of 8 or 9 feet, she's not kicking it out. She's gonna go up. She's either gonna flail and get fouled, or she's gonna shoot the ball and it's gonna hit the rim or the bottom of the backboard. But she doesn't kick the ball out. And I don't want to say it's because she's selfish, because I don't think it's because she's selfish. I think it's because she don't have that trust in whoever she kicking the ball out to gonna make that damn shot.
And I'm glad that you said that. And that brings up my point of when I did the video about Angel Reese reaching out to Gabby Williams. Mm-hmm. So that should show the Chicago Sky's organization what Angel Reese think that they need. Because outside of Kennedy Carter, who are you going to depend on?
Nope, you don't have no. Mabry was the only.
She gone. Mabry's not walking through that door no time soon. So we
if you think about it, Mabry, Kalia Copper, and Gabby Williams all demanded to be traded away from Chicago.
And that goes to
tell you all you need to know about the organization.
Thank you, Ray. See, Ray, I know we disagree in the chat sometimes. But I respect what you're saying, because I've said that. The Chicago Sky organization is terrible. And when I did that video about the reason Gabby Williams no longer wants to play with the Chicago Sky, I had a lot of people come in the chat and try to, rebuttal what I said.
She said it herself. It was management. Like,
exactly.
I don't get why people argue when the person that you made the video about gave you the reason why.
Exactly. I gave the audio.
It ain't like you was speculating. You was going off what she said.
Yep, I gave the audio, and then people come in the chat, don't nobody want to play with Angel Reese. Come on, man. Y'all get out your feelings, man. We heard from the horse's mouth.
They want to play with Angel because they know she's going to get rebounds. She got a high motor, and she brings attention that they weren't getting before she got there.
Exactly.
The same thing with Caitlyn. It's the same thing. They just happen to play different positions.
Exactly.
And the whole thing about them having a rivalry has been created by the media. So now people putting certain expectations on them two that they don't even have for themselves. And then people get mad when they don't meet those unwarranted expectations.
And Flage already exposed that narrative. Fly J
Exactly.
already told people what it
And
was.
you know who else did?
Who?
Haley Van Lith.
Exactly.
Haley said Caitlyn never did the "you can't see me" to anybody except her own strength coach, who was sitting down on the bench.
and you know what's crazy?
And Haley Van Lith said they called and talked to each other and laughed about it.
And see,
the only reason people started talking about Angel Reese against Caitlyn Clark is because Angel did that to Caitlyn, thinking she was getting retaliation for something, when in turn it wasn't even anything.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that is, and that's the problem I have with some of these content creators on YouTube, man.
Yeah, man.
They do videos to fit their own narrative, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know who else? ESPN do it.
Yeah. But you know, they propaganda for a lot of that stuff, man. And the crazy thing about it is, and then when I'm on YouTube and I look at, I watch a lot of these people that do these podcasts, man. And I go in these comment sections just to see some of these comments, man.
Hey, the comment section, you would think we weren't even in the US the way some of these people
exactly talk. And that's what a lot of people do. They just come for the comments, man. Mm-hmm. And they in there talking amongst themselves. But the thing about it is, when you got these certain channels that only prone to talk about one thing.
Yeah.
Now your audience gravitates to everything you say about that one particular person. Mm-hmm. So they're going to agree with you. It's not going to be no agree to disagree, right? Because I've seen on a lot of these channels that if you not with their agenda, you can't comment on it. You can't comment on their posts.
Yeah, if you think differently, they don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But see, that's their propaganda. That's the way of the world these days. If it's my way or the highway.
Exactly. And I saw the video that Adriana Ross did last night. She had to address some of her people for, saying, why are you just talking about Caitlyn Clark? Why are you just giving Caitlyn Clark praises and you don't talk about nobody else on the Indiana Fever? You don't talk about nobody else in the WNBA. You just talked about Caitlyn Clark. She responded talking about, this is my channel. I talk about whoever I want to talk about. And she referenced it to her school days about the kids she's passionate about Caitlyn Clark. But see, that's what happens is she's so passionate about Caitlyn Clark. So everything she says about Caitlyn Clark, her viewers and her supporters are going to agree with everything she says.
That's true. But for every one person that complained about her talking about only Caitlyn Clark, she got 20 or 30 people agreeing with whatever she says. So
exactly.
Of course she's not going to care about the people that don't like what she's talking about.
Exactly.
I feel
that's just like Pope B. Frank. That's why she's always having Pope B. Frank on her channel.
They
is because
they only talk about Caitlyn.
They only talk about Caitlyn.
He made songs.
That song is fire. I got to give him credit. He dropped the banger on that.
Some of the shirts, the colors on the shirts look good too. But I ain't gonna buy them. Not saying I'm not gonna support him, but I ain't.
I give him kudos for what he's doing, man. But man, what's your final take, man? Let's get to the final take.
My final take: the Sky need to make up with Kennedy Carter, get her and Angel Reese back on the same page. Because after that Atlanta game where Angel fought for that double when they was down like 14.
You didn't have to bring that up. You didn't have to bring that up.
No, I'm talking about body language from Kennedy Carter. I could tell she was done with Angel from there because she didn't even give her the ball. She threw the ball at Mabry and walked down the floor.
Yeah.
So they whatever beef they got going, they need to get rid of it because when they was on the same page, Chicago was doing their thing, and Kennedy Carter was a top 3 guard in the league. Numbers showed it.
Yep.
And I really hope the Fever and the Sky make the playoffs because it'll be good for the league. That's really what they need.
Yeah.
It's the most views they've had in the 28 years that they've existed. I'm 34. I used to be a hardcore Mystics fan when we had Elena Beard and everybody. So I've been
Elena Beard, old North Carolina, Duke.
I'm a Duke fan. So
you know my girl Nikki Teasley when she played for the Mystics, right?
Yep, I know all of them. I'm from Washington, D.C. We had season tickets to the Mystics the first 2 years.
Yeah, I'm from Frederick, Maryland, so I'm in that DMV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Southeast D.C. here, born and raised.
Oh, hey, shout out to the DMV, man.
Yes,
but,
sir,
man, I appreciate the call, Ray, man.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you inviting me, man.
Hey, anytime, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care.
All right.
Yeah, that was a great call, man, by Ray, man. See, that's what I'm saying. I understand that people come in the chat, say some different things that we don't agree with, but when I give them a chance to get on the panel, they make themselves, clear that they know basketball. And that was a great conversation, man. That was a great conversation. Well, man, look, man, we had a great show tonight, man. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everything that everybody's doing. Man, it's going to be tough on Angel. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that up there. It's going to be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough on Angel, man. I hate to say it, man, but hey, it is what it is, man. The WNBA is back, man. Let's give the ladies their flowers, man. Let's give them their kudos, man. And the excitement is back, man. And we're gonna start doing some more. I'm gonna have to go live every night, man. Cause tonight, man, I just like what I was seeing tonight, man. We had a calm chat, man. It was no disrespect or anything like that. We kept it all basketball, and I appreciate that. What you say, be nice? That's not having a built excuse now, talking about Sky. Nah, it's not a built excuse, man. Me personally, I've said it on, many live streams that you got to have stellar guard play. And be nice, I think you can go back to a video that I did, when the Lakers got bounced out of the playoffs, when I said, man, if you're expecting D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves to get the Lakers a championship, you're gladly mistaken. You got to have stellar guard play. You got to have stellar guard play. Man, appreciate y'all being to keep up the good work, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. But it's Friday night, man. I got to get my nightcap, man. I might throw some back. It did not need a double team. Okay, we said that, be nice, and that's what I was asking Ray. Why did the Phoenix Mercury think that they had to double Angel Reese? Yeah. But yeah, man, that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, man. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.